Peter Talbot.
Here.
Jim Jinks. Dina Allard.
Here.
John Mylone. Don Walsh.
Here.
David Belliver.
Here.
Fiona Pearson.
Here.
Patricia Kramer. Here. And Greg Wolf.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have two items for discussion this evening because of time. The first one is the timing issue, and we tacked on the second item as well. But the first is item A, authorization to apply for a Connecticut DOT local bridge program 50% matching grant to replace Notch Road Bridge over 10 Mile River. Mr. Wolf.
Be it resolved that the Town Council approves resolution number 052725-1, whereas the town's 2025 to 2029 5-year capital expenditure plan includes the proposed replacement of the Notch Road Bridge, and whereas the replacement of the bridge should be a candidate for 50% state reimbursement funding through the Connecticut Department of Transportation Local Bridge Program, and whereas should funding be authorized by the CTDOT, the town would be eligible for 50% reimbursement in the estimated amount of $1,244,100. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council authorizes the application for the Connecticut Department of Transportation Local Bridge Program 50% matching grant to replace Notch Road Bridge over 10 Mile River, and be it further resolved that Town Manager Sean M. Kimball is authorized and directed to execute on behalf of the town any documents for the commitment to this grant program as presented and discussed.
Second.
We have a motion. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Mr. Kimball, if you would.
Absolutely. So I appreciate everybody, first of all, coming together for the purpose of authorizing this grant application. The reason is the due date, the deadline for submittal under the local bridge program is May 31st. So we only have a few days, couldn't wait till the June meeting. And this came to us, or at least came through my office in the last couple of weeks. But we've been looking at, we had the Notch Road Bridge replacement in the 5-year capital plan, which again, we haven't had a chance to talk about in depth. It's in what we submitted back in March, but we haven't done our capital budget presentations to get further into this. Tonight, we're only just asking for permission to apply. So I didn't bring Merrick with me tonight to go through all of the intricacies of the details of why, because we'll be discussing that kind of in more depth during the capital budget. This doesn't obligate you to do the project, but again, this is the bridge. If you're coming down by Mixville Park, before you get to the Mixville Park entrance, right, you cross a piece of the river there that's coming off of the pond. That's a 95-year-old structure, and SLR has been performing an evaluation of it for some time, and an inspection was done back in March. And there's a number of defects noted that really need to be addressed in the not too distant future. So in order to get in the queue for the eligibility for the 50% funding under the local bridge program, we're requesting your approval tonight. Again, you heard the numbers in there. The estimate from SLR is about a little under $2.5 million to do the whole bridge, so it's a $1.25 million grant that we don't want to lose an opportunity to get in sequence for.
Yeah.
So that's the long and short of it. Happy to answer any non-engineering questions.
Give just like a brief overview as why it's so expensive. That seems really high for a small little bridge.
I
mean, obviously non-technical.
Yeah. So when you get in there, when you see it.
No, I mean, I guess compared to a normal other bridge that size, it seems
so
high.
yeah, I think they're all a little different. Again, some are really culverts or box culverts. Some are larger structures, and obviously there's various different components to that. But this particular bridge, and we've had some significant rainfall in the past that I know has washed out parts of. We have that overflow area that then of course feeds in from the pond. That's I again not speaking from any expertise, but is a concern as with all bridges and culverts that can start to erode the head walls and compromise it over time. But even when you drive over and we've had this on the list, that road has been on the list for paving, but you can see where there's some lines in the pavement there that are, indicate, I think, a shifting of the culvert itself. Again, it's structurally sound. for traffic for now, but again, we do want to get it replaced. But in terms of the dollars, I think that's just what the going rate is. Again, it's an estimate at this point. Bids could come in lower, but a lot of bids for similar projects, have been in that same range. Yeah, that's probably all I have for now. But that is the estimate. $2.48 million is the estimate for that project.
Is that the area where the flooding, where the driveway, remember there was a driveway issue or somebody?
Up the road just a little bit, there was a driveway.
That was flooding all the time.
Yeah, there was some runoff.
There was
I'm not
somebody,
sure if it was
somebody
the
who
same.
came to us last year with that.
Was that old Waterbury though, or was it on the
I
other
think that was a
side?
Cuff
I
Brook
thought-
thing.
Off of
Was that
I-84?
Where the guy dumped like a bunch of water to test to see
Yeah,
if it flood.
wasn't that on Notch Road?
Different?
Yeah.
No. Yes, I know what you're saying, and no, that's a different part. That's
Different-
further
further
down
down,
the
okay.
road.
Okay.
Good,
I just
yes.
wasn't sure.
I know exactly what you're talking about. No, it's further down towards the end of the
Okay, so
cul-de-sac.
this has no
Closer to the
effect on
notch.
that.
Closer to the notch, the actual
Right.
notch
Yeah.
store, yes. Different location.
Okay.
What year of the capital budget is it at now?
So as proposed, I believe it was in year 2. I'd have to pull it up.
I was just curious. Okay.
But it'll need to be probably accelerated depending on the timeline.
Gotcha.
So we'll see where it is.
And a grant like this, how long do you have if they were to grant it? How long do you have that grant for? Like let's say it stayed in year 2, or even whether let's say. Obviously, if it has to be accelerated because it needs to be done, but if it stayed in, let's say, year 2, does that grant last for 2 years, 3 years before you need to use it, or is it kind of
Yes.
like we granted and okay,
You
you
do
have
have
1
multiple-
year to use it from
I
this
think
day?
you have 1 year to complete the design. I'm looking at the email from Keyshore. I think it's 1 year to complete the design after you've received grant approval. So we're just at the application phase right now. So you do have, there's built-in time, but right, they also don't want you to just sit on an approval for a
For
long time.
4 or 5, 6 years.
The idea
right?
would be if we get the approval to move the project forward within the next couple of years.
Sean, in the 5-year capital plan, does it include the total amount, the total estimated amount of 2.4?
So it does in the request, because we have to approve the entire expenditure amount. But because this was a bridge program, and for all of our bridges and culverts, if they're eligible, we always apply for the 50% state funding. So I'm 99% sure that Jim would have had the offset below in the net for assuming 50% grants would be received. Is that correct,
Okay.
Jim? I got a head nod, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
on the
Yeah.
application?
All right, hearing or seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Absolutely.
Motion passes unanimously by those present. Item B, I'll ask for a table on. It's not ready for prime time because of some wording. That was for the amendment to the town retirement plan, section 1, police.
Motion to table.
Thank you.
Second.
And a second. Thank you, Ms. Pearson. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And then item C is ratification of a contract for the Cheshire Police Department dispatchers, UPSEU Local 424, Unit 101, with a term of July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2026. And I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session to include, Jimmy, you staying for?
You're welcome to. Yeah.
So to include everyone in the room with the exception of poor Mike. And
Motion
thank you, Ms.
to-
Pearson,
Second,
and
Wes abstained.
thank you, Mr. Walsh. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We are in executive session.
Are we coming back out? Or
Yeah, we'll come back out, and Mike's gonna stay, and we'll go back on the video, so to speak. Back on the record for the special meeting of Tuesday, May 27th. Item C is the ratification of a contract for the Cheshire Police Department dispatchers, UPSEU, Local 424, Unit 101, with a term of July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2026. Ms. Kramer, please.
Be it resolved that the town council approves resolution number 052725-3. Be it resolved that the town council approves the tentative agreement between the town of Cheshire and the Cheshire Police Department dispatchers, UPSEU Local 424, Unit 101, for the term July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2026, as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Mr. Kimball, would you like to just kind of give a synopsis of the
Sure.
terms?
Yep, sure. So it's a 2-year contract with respect to wages. The key elements are elimination of the probationary wage step, creation of a new wage step 8, a market wage adjustment of $2,000 effective and retroactive to July 1st, 2024, a GWI wage adjustment for 2024-2025 of 2.4%, and then in fiscal 26, so for July 1st, 2025, a 2.4% GWI. There's language codifying the Juneteenth recognized holiday and classifying Columbus Day as Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, and then also updated grievance and arbitration procedures that the parties have agreed to use Mike Ritchie as private arbitrator in the event a union pursues a grievance arbitration. Those are the key components of the proposed contract.
Questions from council members?
Just one, speaking of, just a question, when it comes to those holidays, are those holidays that everybody else already gets off anyway?
Juneteenth became a
federal holiday.
It was incorporated with the rest of our holiday program.
Okay.
This is just putting that language.
Right into the contract, perhaps, because I would want to make sure I assumed everybody else got that holiday as well, so this was just bringing them into a line with other contracts.
Anything else? I'll just offer my thanks to Ms. Lemire and Chief Trife and the team. I know this was a long one, so we appreciate your efforts in getting this finalized. And with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously by those present. And with that, I will, before we hit 7 o'clock, call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Veliver. Thank you, Mr. Walsh. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
I gotta go
Nice.
find someplace